Well, Wi-Fi hotspots are convenient. They're often not secure. If you connect to a Wi-Fi network and send your information through websites or mobile apps, it could be accessed by someone else. So here to tell us more about protecting your information is Heather Massey with the Better Business Bureau. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So this is a very scary thought, a stranger accessing your personal information. So what types of tips do you have for consumers to protect themselves?
Well, make sure you're on an encrypted site. And encryption just basically means is they take your information and they turn it into a cipher or a code. So it's almost like a chip in a credit card. It just kind of scrambles that information. So when you are using Wi-Fi and you're going to your favorite website or you're checking out some information, make sure in the URL that you have the HTTPS and you have the lock bar up there. That gives you that layer of protection. It lets you know that site is secure when you're entering any personal information. So also make sure when you're going into your favorite local coffee shop or you're staying at a hotel and they have free Wi-Fi, always make sure it comes with a password. It's really important because if you're at a coffee shop and they have unsecured Wi-Fi and you decide, hey, let me run in there and check my credit card balance, well, that's open and you're very vulnerable for other people to be able to gather that information. So you want to make sure you're logging on through a secure site.
Okay, now talking about the security aspect, are there any types of security software that we could get on our phones just to have that extra layer of protection?
Well, when you're using your data, you are protected in that sense. You know, when you go to the URL and it's HTTPS. On your computer, though, keep your software up to date. A lot of times you'll have warnings or things could come up. You could be, in a breach. Always pay attention to those. If you go to a website and it gives you a warning, says this website is not secure, that's a red flag to stay off of it. So those security systems that you might use, your antivirus software, very important to keep those up to date.
Okay, and obviously it's kind of a no-brainer to not use that personal information while you're on a Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, it really is important. Save that until you're at a secure location before you check your bank account. A lot of people just don't think. You're there, you're working, you have that free Wi-Fi. What can happen? Well, a lot of things can. While you're there trying to do some work, someone else is there trying to take your information. And that goes hand in hand with changing your passwords. A lot of people have the same passwords from multiple sites.
Right.
So if your information is compromised, at least if you have different passwords and they hack into one of your sites, they can't get the information on the other. So at least you kind of have a little damage control with that one area.
Sure. Okay, now Bluetooth is also a way that we can, link our information with something else. So can you talk about any types of precautions for Bluetooth?
Yeah, on Bluetooth, you're sharing information through devices, whether you have, your radio, you're downloading some playlist, or even sharing music between your phone. It's almost the same thing. Just make sure you're not in a big crowded location. If you are sharing information back and forth with one of your friends, you want to do that with just a couple of you together, because the more people that are out there and you're on an insecure network or site, the more people that have access to your personal information.
Sure. All right, and where can we get all of this wonderful information?
You can always go to our website at bbb.org.
All right, Heather, as always, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, absolutely. Stick with us. We'll be right back.